My name is Natalie Perez, and I have an interview with a member of the band Jungle Rot on February 19th, 2013. First off, can you please give me a brief history on the band itself and what is the role that you do in the band?
My name is Dave Matrise. I lead vocals and rhythm guitar, and let's see, the band was established in 1994. We've been fighting the fight for a long time. I think we have 8 releases out now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I could put it this way, if you ain't heard of Jungle Rot yet in the underground, I guess you're never going to hear of us because, yeah, we've been fighting the fight for quite more years, you know, than the average band today.
Cool.
Yeah, we got a new release coming out. That'll be our 8th one on March 19th, Terror Regime, and we're excited.
Great.
All I can say.
Great. How would you describe your style of music, and what bands influenced you the most?
I like to describe my style of music as just like soul-taking, death groove. We've always been doing that from way back at the start. You know, when I vision and write music, I vision the person walking through the door that's never really heard death metal or heavy stuff before, and, you know, I see this on nights when we are on tour. Sometimes it happens, and they come through the front door and they check us out. They've never seen us before or heard us, and, you know, before you know it, they're tapping their foot. You know, the next thing they're banging their head back and forth. The next thing their fist is going, and then, you know, what's left, they're in the pit, you know, and that's where I get that soul-taking from, you know, that soul-taking drive music. And as influencing me, has gotten me started, that's an easy one. I can remember the first time I seen Creator come to Chicago, and I think it was 85, and I knew right there and there, I wanted to sing and play. You know, that's something I wanted to do. They just captured my soul, you know, right away. Creator did.
Great. How did you come up with the band name?
That came up. My first drummer came up with that. That's always up on, you know, everyone wants to know Jungle Rot, where'd you get it? But he was actually at school one time and taking a history class, and it came up in history, and it was on a multiple choice. It was like something that soldiers had in the war, and they called it, you know, trench foot as well. And, you know, he came back and he said Jungle Rot, and we heard it, and we all said, yeah, that's it, man, let's grab it, you know. It seems like once you hear it, you remember, you know.
Yeah, exactly. What made you guys decide that, hey, let's, you know, start a band and get this up and running?
That would be Creator again, you know, that German invasion, I was really hooked on that early on, like Destruction and Sodom.
Yeah.
Creator, you know, I found the underground early on. I found it really early on, and, you know, that just, you know, that made me go out and do it. It really did, man. I remember my dad took me to go buy my first guitar, never took a lesson. You know, I went home and, you know, I knew the chug. I had to learn how to chug. And once I learned how to do that chugging, man, I was on my way, man. I started right away.
Great.
Natural thing. So I really wanted it. It's a natural thing.
How has it been to be a part of the Victory Records family?
We love it, man. It's the best thing that's ever happened to Jungle Rot, in my opinion. We worked with so many other previous labels that sold us the dream and let us down time after time. And, you know, Victory's just been a blessing since we've been with them. I mean, they're the real deal. That's all I could say. Their staff is 100% behind us all the time. I mean, they believe in us. That's the most important thing. It's the first time we had a label that actually believes in us. I mean, I can feel it. And, you know, and the biggest thing as well is we're one of the only death metal bands on the roster. That means we've become a main priority for the band in that industry, in that heavy market, and it's just us. So we like that as well. Instead of being like on previous labels, you have 30 brutality albums come out in a month, and you get just washed in the wash. I mean, and nothing shines through, you know, and they move on to the next one, the next 30 next month. So that's how we see it, man. And it's been, you know, the last 2 years have been the best years of our life.
Great. Why did you want to go and re-release your 1996 album, Skin the Living?
That's something I always wanted to do, you know. It never really, originally that got put out on a demo, and then Jamie Johnson from Avery put it out on his label, in Pure Death, in 97. And it never really went through a full circuit as of, going through a store or going through iTunes or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to get it out there, and I still think that Skin the Living stands the test of time till today. And, people are going to see that we've been doing this for a long time, and, this is pretty good shit,
Great. As you mentioned earlier, you're about to release your 8th album. How does that feel to have... I don't know. I think it's your 8th album, maybe even 9th album, but...
I'm right with you. I'm confused, too. It's either 8 or 9. It's 12. I know that. It ain't 10 yet.
But anyway, how does it feel to have, 8 or 9 albums out? Does it ever hit you or surprise you?
It feels great. I never thought that this, going into it, you never even think you'd even get one. I remember back in the days, the fight to get your first one out,
Yeah.
It's such an honor to get the first one out on a CD. Everyone can remember those days, but here we are 8, 9 into it. It's still going. I never thought that it would go this. I dreamt of it. I guess dreams do come true, man, but I never would have thought I'd still be going today. And Juggernaut is such a big part of my life. It's who I am. It's pretty much all I really have. Me and my band and my wife and my dogs, and it's such a big part. I couldn't see myself not doing it.
Yeah.
I live for it. I live for the band.
Great. How would you say that this release differs and compares to your previous ones?
I think we're in the same ballpark, but I think we stepped it up another notch. I know we're getting faster and faster. And that's a good thing. We're progressing as a band, and a lot of it has to do with our previous drummer. He's a warrior, man. I mean, Jesse, he can play basically anything that we throw at him. So being that way, we could just really push the boundaries now and try to get the maximum out of everybody. Previous drummers, nothing against them, but you can only play to a high, so your ability is only so high, and you either got it or you don't, and that's where you can't go anymore because you won't pull it off live. But with Jesse, whatever we throw at him, he just keeps nailing. So I think the song's progressed a lot more violent and faster, and we're going to see that, man. He's a really young kid, so we got more of that little younger edge style involved, and it's really mixing well with us with the old school and a little new vibe as well, and people are going to see. I'm real happy with what we have.
Great. What are your expectations for this CD?
To get more tours. I mean, we still fight our ass off for tours and try to get some more respect and prove to people that still don't believe in us that we are here to stay and we are for real. That's what we put everything into this one, and this is all or nothing in my opinion. This is the one that's going to do it for us. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen on this one.
Great. And what can the fans expect to see from you guys as far as, this year goes?
We'll be heading the road in April, April 3rd. Can't announce the tour is going to be announced any day now. I can't announce it because I have to let the headliners do it, but it's actually going to be announced by Friday this week, and it's a big tour, and everyone's going to be happy, man. It's a full North America tour, and I think everyone's going to get a chance to see us right away, man. So we need to pick up that new one on March 19th, so I think we're going to be playing quite a few new songs on that, at least 6 new ones. So people got to get that so they know it.
Great. And is there anything else you would like to say?
Just buy the new CD again, man. March 19th is a big day for Juggernaut. It basically comes down to this. I don't want to sound like I'm pleading and begging, but you don't get opening good sales the first week. You don't shine and you don't prove yourself to anybody in the industry. You won't go too far, man. So that first week sales really count for a band that works hard to try to really get somewhere, man. So any fans that want to step it up and show some respect and support, please buy it, man, because it goes a long way for us.